I stopped sleeping, I stopped eating, and I felt very, very anxious.
A few weeks after the birth of her daughter, Wendy's joy turned to fear.
The most scary was that I was having these obsessive thoughts. Like, it went from this over concern for her to me being afraid that I could possibly harm her.
She would sit on my lap and cry, and I would just cradle her. I knew about baby blues, I knew about hormonal changes. I knew that this was something more than that.
The blues is a very mild mood change that occurs shortly after birth, basically requires very little treatment, if any, and gets better on its own within 2 weeks. What's more serious is if the woman feels like she wants to hurt herself, or if she has scary thoughts about hurting the baby, or fear that some harm will come to the baby, or if the mood swings are really quite dramatic. That's not the blues. Many women have been misdiagnosed with the blues when what they really had was postpartum depression.
Postpartum depression affects anywhere from 10 to 20% of new moms. Extreme anxiety is just one of the possible symptoms.
Not eating, not sleeping, crying spells, hopelessness, helplessness, irritability.
The cause is still a mystery.
We don't know exactly what causes it, but there's some interaction between the genetic vulnerability and the hormonal shifts, so that some women are particularly sensitive.
What is known is how to treat it.
Postpartum depression is an extremely treatable illness, and if you treat it early, treat it aggressively, the long-term consequences for the mother, the child, and the family are drastically reduced, and the long-term benefits become more and more obvious with time.
Does Mommy laugh too much? Yes. All that I wanted to do was enjoy my daughter and, be a family with my husband again. And once that started to happen, it was, it was like a gift.
More and more, people are getting their water from this rather than the tap, but the cost may be higher than they realize.
What we started to see is more decay, more tooth decay in people in their 20s and 30s and even older. When I see more decay than I should, I ask them, "You drinking bottled water?" And usually the answer is yes. They're only drinking bottled water exclusively.
Cavities are making a comeback. Dentists like Dr. Stephen Timpanek say bottled water is a big part of the problem.
People are getting less fluoride in their system. And without the fluoride, it leaves them more prone to tooth decay. And most people are unaware that they're not getting the fluoride.
While some controversy still surrounds the fluoridation of drinking water, the Centers for Disease Control says it has decreased tooth decay in kids by almost 30%. It works by making tooth enamel stronger.
It changes the enamel structure so that it becomes more resistant to tooth decay and actually can reverse the process a little bit.
But don't think you're safe just because you brush with a fluoride toothpaste.
The amount of fluoride on the toothpaste is just a superficial dosage. Having it in your system is a much more effective way to have it work with the teeth.
While most Americans' tap water has enough fluoride to protect teeth, most bottled waters don't. Dr. Timpanek offers this advice to his patients.
I quickly advise them that they need to start getting city water in their diet. Just take your bottled water and fill it with the tap water and you'll be fine, and then you won't lose your status in society.
Music is the soul of everything. It gets you so happy.
While this drum circle may lift the spirits of these nursing home residents, it's also providing therapy.
These activities that look just basically fun are much more intricate than just having a good time, because for patients who have lost their ability to enter into conversations, they need another medium to allow them to experience those exchanges.
If you can imagine being incredibly disabled, and then imagine being part of a group and actually doing something together and making music together, that's a very powerful experience for somebody whose life experiences have been sort of lost to the disability.
You'll see a lot of people who can't really organize their physical movement, but when you provide a strong rhythm that's that captivating, then they cannot not do it. So they sort of transcend the physical impairment.
Research has shown music therapy may improve movement and speech for patients with certain neurological conditions.
It's also an exercise in reconnecting with that sense of timing, entering into timing, having command of time, and this is a very important part of rehabilitation, of having command of time.
The patients here see benefits beyond the research.
It's a pleasure just to get involved and to sing as you see, as we do.
It's so nice when everybody banging their own thing on there. It keeps my blood flowing, yeah. And then I get a warmth inside.
Perfect, just the way you are.
Academy Award winner Sally Field is taking on a new role, helping to raise awareness about osteoporosis. She's hoping her personal battle will inspire baby boomers to protect their bone health.
You really have to aggressively want your health, I think, as you move into this chapter of your life. I don't think you can take your health for granted anymore. I don't think you can ever take your health for granted.
Ms. Field was recently diagnosed with the bone-thinning disease that affects an estimated 10 million people in the United States, most of them women. Because bone loss occurs without symptoms, the first sign is often a fracture. After she was diagnosed, Ms. Field felt very fragile.
When I would hike, there was always a part of the hill I would run down. It was really fun, and it's a kind of dirt and gravel, and I wasn't doing it because I thought, boy, you know, if I slide out from the gravel and fall on my butt, I will break my back.
Now Ms. Field is helping a pharmaceutical company educate the public about osteoporosis. Ms. Field is urging other boomers to get a bone density test and to follow 5 simple steps to protect themselves. Eat a balanced diet rich in calcium and vitamin D. Do weight-bearing exercise to build strength. Avoid smoking and too much alcohol. See their doctor regularly. And if they are on osteoporosis medication, stick to it.
That means you have to continue to exercise and commit yourself to owning this part of your life in an upright state. Let everything else fall apart, but your bones are going to be great.